matter. They need other one. They need possibly other level you stand it nothing there. If I have no profit period, then negligible. If I think not so, the net part of business. I don't need financial work, not enough like need other than you can't natural part or other maybe never daughter. Which I have never dog. Other than which I have necessarily other than passionate. When they educate the community a joint hospital that are not there's none of the mental 80,000. For 80 for NJD need the natural EDC a the mental but not in that way. The middle is not in that way. In the non quite in one. Non could open enough for a could you but not the message of the large size. Not so he the next page is out of the so you can get not a house of no Rex or the shouldn't not a super. But the BBC get we call the Utah down Utah Independent Redistricting Commission for Yale. Okay, especially for the whole we don't play that. What we want setting up with the option after the commission. Operation again now for the no. Now they tonight so the not on the patient talk on no. The other there are not or yon are not your patient not by located has your put on but the cat and the agent matter they have already the better husband or the doyan young tech case or the doyan at or the don't put empty the only a bit of not have already so what you thought we found not able to see that being another edition, a put a trouble,
Okay. I'll try not to give you so much next time.
It takes a lot to translate in one sentence.
So let me first, I want to recognize Commissioner Thorne, who Judge Bill Thorne has joined us online. And so welcome, Commissioner Thorne, and we hope we'll have some more other commissioners be able to join us. I think you said hello, right? So we have this little magical.
Sorry, I can't be there. I appreciate the fact that everybody else is there, and I appreciate your hospitality.
Thank you, Commissioner Thorne.
Hello, Judge. Great eyes.
Hello, Willie.
So this is our camera and microphone that's helping broadcast, and you'll see the picture that's being broadcast up there. So redistricting, again, is that process of making sure we rebalance the districts. So it's not just for Congress. Congress is perhaps the part of redistricting that often gets the most attention. But in many ways, it's the other parts of redistricting that also matter even more in local communities. So we are also drawing new districts for the state Senate, the state House, and the state school board. After all of those districts are redrawn and adopted by the legislature, we will present our maps to the legislature on November 1st. The legislature will then approve a set of new maps for Congress, the state Senate, the state House, and the state school board. And those will then be implemented in 2022 in the elections that occur that year. After we're done drawing our maps, the local governments will then later redraw the local district boundaries to make sure they comply with the law as well. But we're only going to focus on Congress, Senate, House, and school board.
Eighteen nahato sohuti is being citizen yet artin nahato. Eighteen has for the card Kenya having some I want to know what the maps are, the current maps and the proposed maps.
They're all on our website, which is uirc.utah.gov.
That's not going to work because a lot of these people don't have.
And we'll show them tonight.
Okay, good. Asian Athena, definitely. Athena saw the heavy auction definitely auto biopsy to chapel. They don't know the according to AJ Washington, a data one at Annie. But I was needing a other Bandai in teaching eyes. Auto in the A chapel, so just you touch other. Not only a baseball one, the other that the senators and then active. Other house a Yahoo one, she told it a Yahoo one, other not only that he can be none in South of the old pattern. Yet I can be Asian, but not that you can get out a thing yet open out. Not a have to go with put out bunch of and have no dating or be open out. Oh,
Please.
Please vote. Yeah, I asked you. I mean, what about it? Oh, we are open. Make on. So, we are all heavy. We stand there. But the end, must come have it. Article, I thought she died. So there's no. Okay, I think I want to see the
the lawsuit.
That's some way. He not so many oh, I read about that thing about us. Done. I was on the other, but he didn't know I came in the photo. Where's that redness of it? I put him now the other, and then and the about us. They are even about it, Mama. They wrote about first case. I put it. Need time and ask the one that he is as it was in the net. As it was a long that day. A crazy evening now would go, or ask one another. I was nice on her. Ne. Yeah, and I'm no way, and I'm not. But I go ahead or she. Allora, sardi la hite. Roba ne on many any. What I hear
He's concerned about the redistricting. He said, we redistrict the county was just redistricted not too long ago. And we're doing the same thing again here. In the last redistricting, we were separated. And some of them went to Mexican hat and some of them went and started voting. We've done this so many times and getting to the point where I'm not really liking redistricting because it puts us in different situations, different, unfortunately, the voting precincts. And it's the same thing again. But if you really want to seriously talk about this and get really good feedback from the people, we need to meet more than once with the people. You need to meet with us more than once, is what he's talking about. And that's what he said.
Okay. And thank you for that feedback. We have another comment.
I just wanted to clarify what he's talking about. So you need to translate.
Can I just say to him in Navajo? Because I know about it.
And now I'm saying it in English, Sasha. So it's I just Sasha. The equality lots of on Canada. I think he's confusing the two because your school district in the Hasoria, he's confusing it with the district ABE. So we need to clarify that in the county alone. We need to, because we have 3 districts, 1, 2, and 3 districts. School district, there's 5 of them. So the A is the school district number 3. That's what he's confusing.
School 8,
5.
5. Now county, oh. Community. The Queen in a high being shut not high no Sunday other not source, mean source. The 50 so the nothing to be of a show of a on the Hokota, no she did that no she did for the Keta in the Toda Nahakunita in Tai, Nakitin, the Andre, Mother Salad, the other in Tai, the output in the Hokota, able of 8 and not in the hospital. And then say that to area 8 kids in the hospital, 8 one top and you get in the hospital. Of 88 county, the Navajo, so GD Park, Nahazo, at Yana, the party, ACA, 8 car at Alcohol, so never party H. Lap. On Unhustle. So you put it in the 8 the honest, none, Naha, the Nano, Pahagi, Echo. Census, Nanny, A, A, other opportunity, internet, there's no it on the last like net in a story on the net info. Okay, Patrick, yeah, one thing say, yeah, Yahoo, the town and not or the hope for the people that in the that in the law, okay, down. And then not or they are not aiming get put up, not a doggy, not a maybe aiming get. The aiming for not hard to get done. They never
Difficulty, yeah.
Any then out, any power, any kid only everyone has some, they don't so one that not talking, so you know he definitely so you can so a put a that. I did he maybe he's even yet in
And one of the things that we are trying to do is that we already had some meetings with some of our Native American groups at Utah Valley University. We are having another meeting with I believe it's called the Council of Chiefs, that is next week up in the Salt Lake Valley. And so we are trying to have some extended outreach in these communities, although we realize that the very brief time we have is probably not near enough. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, at least, I would say 2 decades. Prior to, the lawsuit that was filed against Untitled Chapter. They went ahead and draw up a map to pass. That's a result of Navajo Nation putting in a complaint against the county, which case was won on behalf of the Navajo Nation. That is what I want to see people get educated, understand historical information plus what kind of, if you will, some type of recommendation would ease the mind of the people that cast the vote. So that's what I'm looking at. And we all understand one man, one vote. We all understand, I'm saying, so they could understand. What they're trying to do is equal amount of numbers in terms of what they're used to. It's cheaper. You can get 10 in this 10, 5 goats and 10 sheep, 5 sheep. Same one over here. That would be an equal amount of animals in each of the corral. So that way you can really understand and say, yeah, in the past, as I understood, there was a school district. School district in this case is also dependent on redistricting. It's not a different school district, school board membership is made up. So that's what I wanted to voice. The other thing is how much of your authority, if you have it, will impact the county redistricting.
So a quick answer to the last question is 0. So our authority does not extend to the county redistricting. What we hope, however, is that by us having a more open and principled focus on drawing the maps at the state level, we hope that that then is a model for the local government, such as the county, to follow as well.
I rest my case.
나스는 과에다 나고 또 그다 에이 아야 이 신이나 신아 중에도 분위기인데 그때 또 분위기 있다고 어떤 opportunity na masitado de upi na so na anti na to sa hanendi ena na anti na quiero con todo el mundo de sen todo avance na
we appreciate the concern that you have in the way that redistricting, especially at the local level, has been so impactful. But we want to focus on redistricting that is occurring for the state house and the state school board and the state senate, as well as Congress. Let me tell you just briefly about the commission members. So we have 7 members total, 3 of whom were appointed by the Republicans in the legislature. 2 have a party affiliation with the Republicans, and 1 is an independent. There are also 3 that were appointed by the Democrats, 2 that had a party affiliation, and 1 that's an independent. And then I was appointed by Governor Cox. So our goal as a commission is to do 2 things. 1, draw fair maps, but 2, not be driven by politics. And so in our map drawings, we have explicitly chosen to not use political data in making decisions about where to draw lines.
okay so we have had by activity to and activity better a had for in the Washington unintended in not at all. Year one dot day one show in the next are a discipline yana open the non and people for that technical of certain F need about the new of a young together with the art technical a big apple indeed appointed Anna PAEC together of the non to pay the big apple or are the non power is on that or the able of and non share advantage for the needs of the larger person dollar in the relation to the book also have easy some under other on then the age to be of the but the fun start if I make the but for doing that, for the beach, I have that not of a window, I have operation indication was not on the fund zone, a put out the culture into the hidden chart, in zone that put all your a open get on it. The ever short or the now I did it in Nahato, the net, it is all. The note that open put out not it. It is even
So the commission, in drawing our maps, have a number of criteria that we use. As I mentioned, the first criteria is an equal population in each district. And that means that different districts are going to have very different sizes. So for example, congressional districts are going to be just over 800,000 people. And so one of the challenges that we have is when we have rural communities, how do we group them with enough population to create a district? In the state Senate, it's about 112,000 people. In the state house, it's 43,000 people. In the state school board, it's just over 200,000 people. So again, the challenge, especially in rural communities, is how do we group people together in ways that make sense to the community so that we're representing your interests.
Khi nào đó khi in tình nghĩa phát in khi in về những này khi cái này anh này khi bên là chỉ có cái nhưng mà số thì bị nhiều anh này khi là in rồi thì nè còn để cái mình nói có cái có tổ những cái anh khăn có anh có phải là anh nó có số thì then say na travel o payu tinata kawan nan ship kote the net hasta de ta tanya ta ko wan o and internet ko so it auto digi and ye the na kun ako ko ni Washington the Washington digi that reason and nothing the media put off a five so he is on that case at home. For it on it's not how she could tell it's not how she it on and for and the side you don't know what me for the nobody he can other ya or uncommon about a color to 8 and net now it was part so that and about so he district then he they put our operation can be not in that put the city careful anything so kind of that the town careful and keep for the Asian can not so means that put out that on it appreciate other was and then here it was I so the United all the not the so we had no not that anything I got in essentially what machine at the nation to take out anything auto and the inner on and vanity essentially and the other side of I did think
Ako, iyo ta royo sin roya nai. No spür chegi ndra tigayal. Toy batay. Ta put ani na to makana to. That even on Harolde, studying mean.
He is asking a question to the audience, the medical audience. How do you feel about this whole subject? Are we being cheated out? Are we, what is going on here? How do you feel? What do you think? We have a young man that just came in that we voted for to be our leader in this, or he's a commissioner. I want to ask him what he thinks and how he feels about this comment.
Well, if anybody would like to respond, please.
That season todos alla andra ni överskritt enligt som vanligt och att det ju ani är i av jobba minimum och is niet op naar de voor je één is wat het is. Die waren en it's just another way to confuse the issue. How was it before the two commissioners became Native American? Were there any questions? Were there any problems? The state of Utah is a fully fledged Republican state. It doesn't think like the way we are as Native American, we are Democrats. It seems to me, then you get a steady, nothing done there, done there, need to steady, your feet, no, steady, on 80. In C case, our thinking concept is different from where they are. Shido at Willie, he's a chairman, and I'm the vice chairman. I live in when you get to the state capitol, you hang around and try to mingle with everybody else, and everybody kind of treats you like you have a bad cold or something. But without it, as a minority, as a Democrat from San Juan County in the state capitol. A resolution was introduced within the county. All the good old boys, they have a really good ties with one another. Or then, whatever we do, they're gonna somehow tackle it. Just remember the barrier issue. All the way from the county to the state, and every one of those people in the state level campaign against barriers in Washington. The same thing here. To make matters worse, Willie was a chairman of the Barrier International Monument, the Nekakaya, and I was a member of that. So that even makes it worse. So if there was to be some kind of a commission, it should be just a normal, average, non-political position. So they just like the way the Nekakaya, there's a commission that's been developed and planning. These are 100% anti-barrier people. Oh, you've heard of that. He's been coming down every now and then to listen to all of these options. A day visitor center, another. So in the midst of this, he got the East Niligi. I see you then the heat and never whole part, and never yet. It seems out. That's probably about the worst thing that you could ever wake up to. That's who we are. We're depressing to every family member in San Juan County that's a non-Native American that we are the chairman and vice chairman in a commission. Evening now, that's what's being presented to you. Of course, the nanny, I think you can check it and see if you want it. All the year, so what you find these people. This is what we call came in the. We're fighting among each other with those because of that. The concept here. No, what done additionally, there was never a problem. Nobody recommended no redistricting committee or commission. The only way they kept in action and encourage our kids, just like they do. They are the ones who are 18, they're registered to vote. No, we don't want to vote. Once I register, then they're going to have to do some things. for the county, put on, don't get up. That shouldn't be the case. Ako, bennasin, egi, the art for the non-natural, the concept for the product, the need, natural, the other one. Which are kind of all each whole, and then I know join it. So AD is even in department. I see the net level in general. The constant. Ado leo net the part of net. I then often net non constant. Attending I put it other queer in this again not on it or the but that and general and get no it and then do Okay, those on leadership. 11 in on as Kitana the net census count on an in the gun and don't cut away our hand down to died or ahead with no problem. A David speaking. Now, about him, Yahibenin, it becomes a concern for everybody else. Although it's official of people. God is hard for the many people when I'm doing hard. Everywhere and whatever we do, we're being challenged in one way or another. But nevertheless, we win. But that doesn't matter to them. They will keep on doing whatever they do. That's what we call networking. Even in Cuban, nothing you go on for the okay, probably. That really would all we are here to be we are constant. Today was about it because only part of the end in fire. Today on that and on here, I think I then is I got this thing. Larger, you get a word, you know, big. Now, when you are Nana, I see are shuttable. Yeah, they need it. Elizabeth Bryant, something in the one day, watching it for now, as you I did quit. Even in a gardens and what I've done with the other queen, I patients who don't need a opinion of an idea and people on there. Best without any day only, I would even there or only. Video, and so on.
Thank you. Oh, did you like it, Kenneth? And it's not Mark, Kenneth, right?
Yes, Kenneth.
He's the
Mark, you'll be welcome with the 2x4,
Cái tôi thấy nhận với thì là chỉ kiến này phải là cái anh nói cái gì là chỉ có là con là cái nói rằng là là gì có ý của cái ấy là con cái chuyện là chỉ có ô cái cái nó là là chỉ
As is a English among the better lead. They need a chair. They were not. I don't keep the speaking. I think I don't know all of the level not. But for the ones that on me, they play New York solo or so. They don't want I think whether Alia and New was not the same thing. Upon the DD, now they are the time. Härligt, en liten på i så då är det och vi har och det samma så man det och Disneyland är ada cosa nej sao sina det moi där är för det även när man ni arbetssätt eller no är för den där tingen kai ena ja das sina era pues kan ani yo no es och är nej det en veden sen något den är tajna som Nida. Nida. I don't know. I Quella è la che dove da si giorno ya.
Roman zyski sobie całej ziemi nie znana chał, nie nauka. Jakiego najtidę nie od pan zero, jakiego Windows nie. Egit jest ego. There Washington, there what I yes. Federal government, then we give. Oh, the 2008 over a jury see why then he did and now it's so. Didn't Beneath so the pay Todos niet aan de benen, want dat helemaal geen zin of de kitchen. Door eerder te doen. Kweeg je pas, je bent in mij. Waarom is het nog? Oh, nou kies tagen en de die, nou bedenk je dan niet. Konodo Bekasi. Eden Independent, Utah Independent Judiciary Commission. And asserted banana sheet, Eoson. The Euro County going that village. Nachaido, Hagido, Nato Zogi, Basic, sitting the out. Have a overcare, don't all three, it's in a little. A court on here, Nado, so stopping in it's in our air, but once of Eva has seen.
Can I really just, I think what we really need to clarify going forward is that this Utah Independent Redistricting Committee is for the, what did you say, the Senate, the House, the Congressional. We really need to clarify that to them because right now they're mixing the two up with just the county itself and then the state itself. So if we could clarify the two and make sure that they understand it, then I think it will lessen the confusion. And then the fact that San Juan County, because it's been redrawn because of the lawsuit, they're mixing up the districts and the school districts again. And so we really need to clarify that.
That's why we need those visual maps. to show that.
Sure, yeah. So we're going to go ahead and pull up.
There's some up there.
이렇게 하다 소리 에디션 이제 전에 있네.
You want me to show current maps or past maps?
Created.
What?
Just the created ones.
The ones we have drawn?
Yeah, the ones that we've drawn.
Want to start with congressional?
Yeah, that'd be good. You can just go through each one of them.
So up on the screen, you're going to see some maps that the commission has drawn. These are draft maps. We haven't proposed any of these yet. But these are different maps. So so we divided the commission into 3 map drawing teams. And each team then, so when you see green, for example, that means that was the green team that has Commissioner Bishop, Commissioner Durham, and Commissioner Baker on it. And so the orange team has Commissioner Thorne on it. And then the purple team is the team that I'm on with Commissioner Hale. You had a question.
They want to see the now district
The
lines,
current ones.
the current one,
Okay.
then they're gonna, you need to show them
Okay.
this one. The current one is what?
We'll show you that.
Die nada sogi the Kayan's father how sogi she told it the A nada has sogi been. Die could just use okay
No, that's the state.
sogi the get or that and that she told Kaya how.
But it still shows.
A nada has sogi been yet. A yeah.
I think if we go back to the images.
No.
No, not those.
Yeah, I was gonna say the Tim governance website.
Yeah.
Are you the building manager? Is it okay?
Yeah. What's her website?
What?
What's that?
What's her website?
Lieutenant Governor's. Oh, it's-
Yours?
Lieutenant Governor.
What that is?
Oh, you want me to get my copy?
Not that one.
You always.
No, scroll down.
New district.
Yeah, that's no down, one more, that one. That one has the link.
No, does it?
Yeah. So yeah, elections.utah.gov, maps, districts,
Want me to just use this?
that's the website, yes.
Okay.
This is it, yeah. This is it.
Yeah, so if you'll enlarge that a little bit. And scroll up, yeah. So these are the current congressional districts. And don't move quite so far.
I know. I just clicked it a little too much and it went a little too far.
So as you can see, and you know, the 3rd congressional district is the one that includes San Juan County,
Which is the brown?
which is the blue.
The blue, okay.
Yeah. And so that's the current district. Currently, that district doesn't have enough population. It needs more population in order to meet the equal distribution, like our animals in the corral.
Dinle dot visual, ADKH atmosphere. I don't have so the A and upon the 18 Washington, the not on it, the A put out the so. Not making 80 dot visual. Do 8 9 the negative the 18 now. In that, it put you don't like the negative that. That's right.
So what we've been trying to figure out is what should the district lines be, given that they can't be this anymore. And so for a place like San Juan County, what parts of the state are most similar that would have a similar voice to the San Juan voice? Because that's part of what I'm hearing is that you're not, your voice is not being heard. And so we want a district, as we draw the line, we want a district where your voice can be heard.
So that blue, the blue screen, your 800,000 threshold is not,
It doesn't meet it.
doesn't mean.
That's right. So we have to redraw. We could redraw it by just tweaking the lines a little bit, by going into some counties a little bit more. Or we could essentially say, this doesn't quite capture the interest of the folks in southeastern Utah. And we could realign the boundaries. So for example, if you can pull up Orange 2. Sorry.
Upon kitty, the navigate has unnegated carriage, indicate and the dot, there's very that. It's all for quite a carefully. You don't educate because put out at Nahasoki, 80 dot, 80 those person down for Washington that and then he cannot honor a put up on the son. Because I think that the men isn't now 80 dot, 3 not dot, the joke oh, maybe say next, go ahead.
So if you can pull up Orange 2. Yes, I believe that's it. Yeah, that's it. So in this map, you'll notice it's a little different from the other map that we showed. So this is one of the drafts that our mapping teams have created. And you'll notice that this time, it includes San Juan County, but it goes north up to the Uinta Basin, and then over to Rich County, and into Cache County and Box Elder. So that would be a very different kind of representation than the representation you currently have. The question that I have is, would this kind of a map make more sense to you or less sense than the other map?
Turn it back to
Yeah, I'm just going back and forth. So
There's
there's no
little-
difference.
it's open, it's Nana, Michigan, a arts assistant. Upon the kindred, hit my heart, so yeah, be that. What's a your friends in the the San Juan County, now does that extend into the brown area,
It's the yellow over here.
the yellow or the green?
I can go there.
Well, I can't tell which color it is. I'm somewhat colorblind.
Here's San Juan County right there.
Upon the AO. And Navajo Nation is within the San Juan County.
Navajo Nation is there.
So it extends into the brown.
It goes into, I'm not sure, we can pull.
No, it isn't. No, it isn't.
Okay,
Okay. The brown is the color, the line between the brown and the green is the Colorado River.
so the Navajo Nation does not go across that.
No.
Okay, I wasn't with that. Okay, it stops up there.
If that green is extended all the way into Cache County, would there be a possibility of 2 representatives
So
or just one?
it would be just one, because each district can only have one representative. So let me show you another map that is a different flavor.
It's outside. Oh, yeah,
So purple 4
so we're only allowed four districts.
4 districts, yes,
In this,
in the congressional maps, yes.
It doesn't look like purple 4 has been uploaded yet.
Okay, well then, how about purple 2? So here's a different version. So again, these are, what we want is we want feedback on whether or not any of these make sense. So this map has essentially all of central and southern and eastern Utah in the same congressional district. It would go up into Utah County, up into Daggett and Uinta County, and then all the way down to San Juan over to Washington.
One representative.
One representative.
So that would distinguish, the first map would say that it would include all of the other tribes in the state of Utah, except for the Goshen tribe on the northwest.
Yes.
Oh, and then down below in Washington County, Paiute. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yes, and that's some of the kind of feedback that would be helpful. Would it be helpful to have the majority of the tribes in one district? Or would it be better to have the tribes dispersed across the district?
If it was dispersed, that's what it would look like.
It could look like
It
that,
could
yeah.
look like that.
This is the second recommended map.
This one represents the Navajo tribe, the Ute tribe.
Yeah.
The Paiutes.
Shoshone, Shoshone and
Way up
would be
north.
further
Way
up.
at the top.
That's not would be part of that district. Can you show the other map again? Is
Yeah.
there a way to put both the two maps side by
We
side?
can
The
try.
Goshen will be on the northwest.
Okay, and our other map was,
You have a laser pointer?
I'm the laser pointer.
Okay.
You tell my arm where to go.
we did orange draft too.
We tried to use laser pointers earlier, but we found that they didn't show up very well on the projectors.
Yeah.
So in statute, is it saying that it's based on population of residency? Like where we're listed on the map as living, and that's how
That's-
in statute,
That's correct.
the lines are.
So based on where people are living at the time of this
So
You got
does it account for like where we receive our mail versus where our home is?
it's wherever you filled out the census.
So the census is what's telling you where you live.
So if when you filled out the census, you filled it out where you live, I assume, not where you received your money.
I'm curious how the distribution of population is represented on.
Can you pull
on
up
land.
the other
Yeah.
one?
Yeah, I'm working on it.
It was orange 3.
I have an orange one.
So you were looking at purple 2 was the other one. You can also show that one also, but yes,
Is that the correct one?
yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So each of these 4 districts have 800,000.
Yes, each of these districts have 817,904 plus or minus a small amount.
Just need to make sure we're sharing the screen on Zoom.
Then we're taking. Navajo tribe, Navajo.
Now, the no, white mesa, child, and you don't, they look
Could
at
you shrink this
you
up?
went to your rate price delta, you shame you have to check, not that, check the house, you know, I don't know, I'm saying, that is to show me, age, odd, and then the. How do you get, we drawn together? Yeah.
One district.
They put your book, put your dash.
Sharon, can you go over here and point them out?
Okay.
Where the data split.
There goes another laser pointer.
You don't have a stick?
I don't know how to bring it later.
No stick.
No step.
No,
Have a pin.
So Declass, San Juan County, Quite the never K, quite house, so they quite San Juan River. Auto on the White Mesa. Auto with the Duchesne, not the Keta Roosevelt, Vernal be like the Auto Mass, the non-rail car, the Salt Lake, don't know. Shoshone tribe, a quatrago, four we are. I don't know that, I don't know that, I don't Shoshone. Where is Tuella?
It's over here,
Okay.
west side, it's in that.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so it's either in the, on the purple or the other.
So A, could G, and A, with those cut though. Right, is that how you say it? Oh, yeah. 8,000, Quillen,
7,
817,000.
817,000.
There's nothing, no, but artists, that's the me. No, but not a thing, but I think the me.
D could you get a quite the never house so. Auto D could you St. George or Cedar City that A and not that pie you quite Kedahata. White Mesa, Auto know that the Roosevelt don't you went to your ray not that A day Yanana Yoshkato. Hey Digila. Which ones do you guys like?
He's got one more coming.
Oh, you have one
So we
more?
can show another
Oh.
one, yeah, so show green, yeah.
There's a lot of people.
On the
who
other
don't live
screen,
on
Julian.
tribal lands, though.
They don't live on what?
Like, there's a lot of native people who aren't on tribal land, right? Like, so
Yeah.
I understand you're talking about where those tribal communities are. There's also a lot of folks like in all Salt Lake, right?
Yeah.
All,
Yeah.
But there's a lot of them that go home to vote.
Oh.
150,000. Los Angeles, Salt Lake, Albuquerque, Chicago.
There's shin the cost, shin the die, the die, biscuit of
Green
biscuit.
one is the first.
I can't even speak.
Sorry.
Green
Bistahi.
Yeah, this one is.
But we're
green.
married
Oh, there it
to.
is, okay.
Ha the shin na nation the question months ha the shin na nation. But ending not to have ha could I could have wanted that need in the
So on the right side, this is now a third alternative approach.
Okay. Die could you see go hana house. Don't live with the digital. She's showing it to but count and either. Hey, division with that. The art in such you got Ketahat and he gave because the store Belagana that ehegi she get darchen. Hey, digi lanha, ya at a hey digi la naha. Fishing,
Lana Donaldson.
yeah, Lana Donaldson. That's what I was trying to think of.
Number 3.
Had ishi art and a sale had ishi was bahas and no big ish here. The K and has undergo the question there's really no quite how ya. Auto Escalante staircase national one it could be so AR Sakaya Hots and then President Obama shot designate the national monument no Bahayad on here because Kishney Linigi et now with Ado to it Bahuyado that it no a digi the nation. DK and not a sogi had hey digila, hit hey digila, banished it or not sent one at Nash Ado the Mosnigi. Could the Nana Red Rocks Wilderness if no Kaya Yanada Esto a Cajun Havigedo la to the how do you say OHV off-highway vehicle. Four-wheeler, that, hegi, UK and the shoto, di kwayana, that, it's that, net, kayagi, jo, dot, how do you say heel?
Dotzi.
Dotzi, kwayana, that, could, Kujana, highway, I-70. Quite non kaya na that a teen highway and not or nista no but lagana ya nada see the hone the lagana lost he kaya kushi acres. Do you remember how many acres it is? A teen of ya was shikaya ya quite Bekashin and Shikada to get the Schleha. Nasha Hushitol needs to die, or shop with no teeth, no eminent domain is no yaski.
It's a bookcase cliff.
Oh, book cliffs, highways, no yaski. A big crack, oh, huge kaya, yaski, oh, not at the net. Hey, diggy sheep, but the Hunana test on all put that Salt Lake, all Salt Lake in the Nebuchadnezzar Tiji, Kaya Yanda, huge Kaya Yanda, 100 Nazi, 100. So the adult, we get it all adult, a teen Hunna, the no, Yanda, the Ebony, na Kayan, her leg on Hilla one, so case, no night, this kid.
Why makes a mill?
Oh, be quiet, uranium, White Mesa Mill,
So, House
uranium.
of Representatives.
One and the rare metals, yeah.
Nishika in the
Space time will be shipped to rare metals. Foreign material.
And a night, this kid, he could collect all up on sockets, collect all up. If they did not take the care of another swaggy, they are in a sheep for Kaya so he ain't Salmon County, Edgar. A could dish yards or should not Kenneth, a arjib, but they still a arjib up on boat it or this. As she would ask, okay, another hospital, but the Shannon not or neither the the never born it saw the late ally and suitcase no a shame like a heart how she young not that they're going to talk about it. I dig tonight the art and a whole so the
Deal, the Napa, not they Washington, Napa, Hannah, Hopper, the FB, but being now a day for one door, a year for one door, auto, what yet of people, 80 by a put on which 9 me.
say
But the House of Representatives, many Washington, that none people, just I think for the whole zone. I think for nothing should be a typical indigent. Is Janet Lee Nana for dinner, they who want the arch that is not so the indigent. Not that the need. For 80, credit is in that 8 or that was in the book. Either then, you go, but we did not, we thought that he did it, for them, we pay a happy than nothing. He said, then he pay a has Oko, careful, either Sahota, Diego, needs I am that, neither Nita, no, 8 needs for the but I can make you. He needs time, that is part of the not sure that he needs time. Eden is after Eden is on she in a poor it's unantic, Yantic party, it has your balcony, simple day. No, each other was so for a thing, then a balcony, simple day. No, she in the bench there. Of Asia Peppan, thank you for this. Play the issue of Beniglia, the part of so when the king because Aniki A or the art power in teacher of when the unthink the power, those are for a other one. Thank you. And then they can then we go to the door. Then he Nana power. Oh, for you go, but we did not eat. He has on. A argument. Okay.
So if you look at those alternatives, which approach makes the most sense to your community? Is it the larger district that encompasses more of the tribes? Is it separating the tribes? Which, from your perspective, is the most useful?
I think the one that showed up here seems to be my preference. You disappeared that.
The last one?
You just lost the one you were talking about.
Okay, I was not aware. I was just going through so that people could see the different ones. But I'll
Are
pull
you
that one
against
up.
me?
I'm so sorry.
That one.
This one.
Yeah.
But did you really?
The tribes, the Goshu, Paiutes, St. George, Ridgefield. There's one other place that they settled. So there's 4 community Paiutes are in the light blue. Over on the east side is the Ute tribe. There's 2 Ute tribes and Navajo tribe. And that greenish color. We have issues of some of it. Then the biggest issue to us is uranium, meal, and white mesa uranium mill was still operating. The other, I'm not sure as to what issues they have, which is the north. You know, Shoshone tribe. So collectively, you could isolate those grouping styles.
Okay.
So the issue would be one, hopefully supported by all the tribal members of those groupings. I would select that one.
Please.
You draw the maps. Now, do you present all these 3 maps to the legislature when they choose?
It may not be exactly these maps because these are our draft maps and we'll be refining them based on the kinds of comments that we get at events like this. But we will submit 3 congressional maps to the legislature. And our hope is that they will choose one of those 3 maps.
But they don't have to.
But they don't have to. That's part of the challenge of the way the legislature revised the statute on the independent commission.
Do people in the districts have a say to the legislature about what they would prefer?
Yes, you can approach your legislator and tell them, here's our preference. And so it's through that normal legislative mechanism that your voice would be heard. In addition to what we're going to do is we're going to try and amplify the voices that we hear as we present it to the legislature, so that we can be representing the people's preference.
Well, when do you have to, when this goes to the legislature in January,
On November 1st.
on November
On
1st?
November 1st. We have a
So
very
the
small
decision has to
timeline
be made
because
by
of the
the-
census.
It has to be made by November 1st. You have to submit.
Hours, yes. The legislature then will decide by around Thanksgiving time.
So how much time do you have for local people to make suggestions?
Up until about October 23rd.
Thank you.
We got another comment.
I think I answered it by looking at the map. Thank you.
Okay.
I appreciate that.
That's Nella che fa ci chiedi arrivo da bella delle non sa there's a cosa ani de on the under so e quando nei la orde noi ye it is not what happens now different time in it. It's over the sun, that's the end of what they are.
Oh, no.
Listen, so you go listen one party then. Eight of this, as you know what happens now. But they know how I hear, no, think that you know. Our this.
His question is.
It's not the many hard.
Hey,
Just that you know, didn't he? And I know.
then I went the end, Friday. Only was Saturday, the Tamana on this way, what that happens next day.
Was that
Probably the end.
just. Okay, the deed, I can see they are. Okay, doing. Or. Just seven, never draw upon. Upon the edit. On it, the dead conversation.
Oh, hey, the stay like it.
Could you get them done? Now, because it's starting. Beyond the kids. Koi. Good. Nakas, Beniki, Asako. Koi. Katagato. A higher George. Washington, die, but not down. Really need. Oh, could you get that some come on? Die here. Not down, die, I'm his down. Today, you will talk about okay. What I didn't need that.
Let me tell them his question real quickly. His question was, if we through this discussion decide that we like a certain one, which map that we're gonna choose or we prefer, will these people go down to all other general public in the state of Utah to let them know that the Navajos prefer this or other tribal members? Is that how they're gonna do this? Is what his question is. And so then Willie is telling him, explaining to him again, the preferred one is this one, which he is preferring. And I don't know whether these people are gonna be saying this is what the Navajo would prefer, but this is what we're talking about. It's not something that, you know, is gonna be announced at
Yeah.
twice or
Yeah.
Tara had a question. Okay.
I was just wondering if we could have you send us copies of those maps that way, because it's time consuming when we have to sit here
Sure.
and try to inform and educate the people
This
on
one is
what it means and why these are all drawn differently, and then having to then decide where to go to, you know, public comment and all of that.
Yeah, I just took a picture of it.
I think that's something like that. Maybe we need to do maybe a series of
It's great.
educational parts to this after
Yeah.
tonight.
And we'd be happy to send copies of the map to you.
That would be great.
No, Ali.
Yes, I know if we get
It's
copies
not
of the
purple.
old one and the new ones, that would be
Yes.
great. That would be comparison. That way we
orange.
understand.
It's
I'm trying
orange
to
too.
and explain it to them how Navajo Nation does it, where our council delegates, and how just one single representative will not have time enough to go to Washington, get all the information, talk about whatever they need to talk about, come back and then come to each of the tribes within each of the district. Because it's basically the same thing that happens here with our council delegates when they go to Washington DC and Winter Rock. Sometimes they don't make it to our chapter meetings to inform us what's going on out there. And so I'm just trying to make sure that they understand it's going to basically be the case here if we go with a larger district that's strong. This basically takes up most of the northern part and the eastern side of the state, as opposed to just the eastern side of the state with the map on the right hand side. So I'm just trying to explain that.
Yeah. And so one of the things that was asked was about how will we represent the comments of the people that we hear. We won't represent them as the official position of the Navajo tribe unless the leaders of the tribe were to submit a formal statement that said, we hereby endorse this map or whatever. But what we will do, and we have a few members of the commission that have been online with us, Commissioner Thorne, Commissioner Hale, for example. We are listening to these, and we will amongst the commission talk about when we went down to Mexican water, here are the perspectives that we heard, or if you submit comments to us, those that will go to each member of the commission as well.
Do you have like pamphlets that you know hand out for
So
the
we have-
website that we can visit?
Yes.
Public comment, okay.
Yes. We also have some hard copies that if people want to write a comment tonight, they can do that. But we do have a sheet that has the website on it where they can go and make public comments.
Okay. Okay.
So let me shift. Okay, so we have Joey before Joey's reservation. Okay, so let's pull Joey up. So we're gonna have one of our staff who's back up in the Salt Lake Valley, and he's gonna share his screen. And what we have is on the software that we're using, we have the ability to show, in addition to the population, we have the ability to show the location of, for example, all of the reservations. And so that's one of the things that occasionally that we'll pull up and look at. So this is what it looks like when we're mapping. And this is the exact software that you're seeing. And Joey, we've got the reservations there in that kind of orangish color. So that's showing us where the reservations are, so that when you're doing the mapping, we at least have some idea of that.
So we show the whole state, as you can see here. You can see each of the different reservations, and so you can kind of guess where you might want to combine with the other. So yeah, here and up there. So that might help. But this is what the commission sees when they draw, and they're going to do a report that's going to go to the state legislature. They'll have a section of this meeting talking about what you want. And these are just the congressional maps. You still have the state house, state senate, and state school board. So I don't know if that helps, but we can give you maps that show you each of the other tribes.
Yeah, that really helps out. So I think that's the preferred map, that one right there.
So that would be.
One with the pink.
Yeah, the one with the pinks and then the brown.
So that's the green.
And we can give you paper so you
Yeah.
can make sure that's right, because there's a whole bunch you haven't seen yet.
Yeah,
And we can print them out to you with those reservations.
okay. Yeah, that would be great. That would be awesome.
So Joey, why don't you go to one of the, you want to look at one of the Senate maps?
Well, I was gonna say a house map.
A house map. Will you go to one of the house maps?
Can you guys hear me okay?
So he's now going to pull up a house map for the 75 house districts in the Utah legislature. And one of the reasons I want to show this map is because this one is where that more local representation happens.
That's, and our representation here for that is, Curtis?
No, Curtis was the
Okay,
congressional map.
Congressional, yeah, okay.
The one.
Yeah, Phil Lyon,
The line is state.
representative.
Yeah, so this would be his district.
And so, yeah, so the question is, how do you want that district to look? We have the option. All right, Joey. Zoom out and take me to the southeastern corner. He's turning on the reservation portion so we can see that in the map.
Yes, we can see you working on it.
Now, the other end of the state, you're like, there we go. So in this map, for example, and again, this is only one of the versions that the commission has prepared. This map has San Juan County then going to the east to pick up enough population to make up the 43,000. We have other maps. Joey, can you pull up a purple map? Oh, that is purple. Thank you. And how about an orange map? I want to show them something that did San Juan County different. So it's important to us to get feedback because we need to know does it make sense? I know transportation wise, it doesn't make sense to go west because you can't drive here to there straight. And so does it make more sense? Like this one, I hope. Yeah.
Yeah, this one does go north.
Okay.
The nada so this hard la chiyan that it can be chiyan that of nada of libido Hawaii the chua that it so edo ben on so that it hard gonna about shop down. And this also APK another has so the they this one's one of the other maps.
Yes,
Yeah,
this is one of the other maps. And so this one, it shows going north.
Why is Grant County split?
So
Grand,
that's a good question. And it's because that was the option that map drawing team saw in order to get the population. Now, there are other maps where Grand County is not split. And so these are not the only two options.
you can see this looks like it tried to keep these reservation properties all in one district. So if that's something that's important, they can do that. But if they bring in the rest of Grand, this probably can't go all the way up and you split the reservations up here. So this was an obvious mixture to try to put reservations all on the west and the east, the east and west side, or east and north here together. So
Does that include carbon?
That one.
no, carbon is not included there.
Yeah, not in that one.
This is just coming up.
Where is carbon?
He's gonna show it in.
Yeah, Joey, will you show carbon?
Oh, there it is. Yeah, I guess it is.
So
That's
it includes part of carbon.
half of carbon. But again, we're looking for comments. So if you're saying include or don't include, make it all or part, those are all changes that can be
So
made.
if you look at that map and you go, that's the worst idea I've ever heard,
Yeah,
we want to know that.
we don't want that one for sure.
But the thing you have to know is that in order to include these reservations, it has to be contiguous.
That reservation up there, that's the Vernal Duchesne area.
Yes,
right?
yes.
Yeah.
And if that's not important, you need to say it. But so these counties the whole boundaries have to be contiguous. They can't be.
So
split
I
apart.
think what we would like to see happen is, because San Juan County is a part of Moab and Grand County, and a lot of the people, they shop there, so I guess it would be like a community of interest.
Yes.
And so a lot of that, I think a lot of, with it drawn, is there another map that would show all of Grand County and
Yes.
Carbon County?
Joey, can you pull up, it's not finished yet, but purple 2.
Carbon.
So I'm gonna pull up a map that we haven't finished yet. But we do have that part of the state, and I believe it does what you're talking about. But we'll see if I remember correctly.
And these maps will be changing every week till the 23rd. Because
So-
every time we go to meetings.
Yeah,
it'll be
so what
adjusted.
happens is we come here, we get this feedback, we then go back and we start changing the maps to say, oh, they said that really wouldn't work, and so we may abandon a map because of that, and then focus on another one that, takes everything north, for example.
Yeah, I think going west makes no sense. I mean, no offense, Commissioner Reyes, I know that's where you go home, but like, in terms of the county, right, like, our community of interest really does go towards, if we're going to Salt Lake to do anything, that's the way to go. No offense, Commissioner Reyes. Devil Mountain community might need a different set of shoes. We should probably hear from them.
They're in the same,
So this one has a west and north, and Carbon's left whole up here. So that's another option.
You split San Juan County, huh?
No, it's the
Oh, I
red is
see,
the reservation.
I see. Oh, interesting.
So these are all different maps. They all have pros and cons. People are gonna like this one, not this. And so they're going all over, and I think, that's a discussion for you.
I think definitely we would want San Juan County, Grand County, Carbon County, Emery County, and what's the other one up there? Duchesne.
thank you.
Sort of like,
Those are more, because that's the general commute to Salt Lake, and a lot of people shop and do business and have family.
Would get pulled over by police officers.
Yeah.
pay for the local tax, speeding tax.
Also, what is it, something of organization of governments or something.
Oh, the Council of Governments, yeah.
So they work in Grand, I don't know, I don't think they work in San Juan.
That's really good feedback, because that's what the commission believes should be together, the things you're talking about.
Dinley, Nijinti Pahoso, this and that became Yapaka Kevin, and Jin Nahazo, Neniki, Nado, Neniki, do Beton that it's Zopta. And in Nat and indeed art for put at a concern. Nska was a dance cargo. Another of maybe 80 yards and when he came for cart, you give a to how at Zopala.
Come.
Oh,
So that one, and kaya hata so a Bill Lyman audit that ABBB nothing needs an AI to the couple, so he Bill Lyman it is AABB another 다 지금 런데 그 지금 지금 전과 St. George Cedar City 지금 에이드好做的地方，爱到在那么晚做太深的education所以article的好做的，你看不那个，那还是一定。
네, 야나테니까 San County 또 connect 여기 파이사회다 케야 여기야 아론데 근데 그다음 그때 하고 아들 나나 파이 we gonna be hopefully tied up the Native American in that sense. I don't, why mention no? Ajakota in that como yeah. Nani, the Shiki Alako. Como state is Nenegi Aje night, the city called a what are just no. Get out, Nako. Called I shall die, other. And IBC at the hands. It says, that. Asana Saudi, Saudi, Anzaki, Slako, what Aman, Anzaski, the lawyer, the Pachi, 8, China, the Niki, in a home care, note that youth. Other question, another transition this season. So I see he never. Since the year after the virus.
Native people are the unity of the Native American issues, concerns are very important, and they make a decision whether they want to keep them all together and support one another in one district.
I really appreciate the conversation that we've had so far. I would like to ask Leanne to briefly show you our website. To give you some familiarity with the kinds of things that we have on there. I know that not everybody across the reservation has access. So please, Commissioner Graham.
Looking at the map, does that divide the, is that the U reservation up there?
Yeah, yes, I think that one does divide the reservation. Divides it 3 ways. And so again, that's part of the reason for us to come down, here is for you to help us to see that we weren't paying attention when we did that. And that's probably not the best idea.
Yeah, that's dividing the whole human being. And
So Julianne will show you a little bit about our website. And we know that not everybody has access, but we also know that there is access through, for example, the chapter health. And we hope that people can find ways to help others access the information as well.
it says the White House and not standing alone.
Okay, so we've been messing with this website here to look at those maps that we have drafted. So your website our website is going to be your gateway to seeing the maps that we draw and to letting us know what you think about our maps and what you want your district to look like. So any of these buttons, you can go to our website, which is right here, urc.utah.gov. You can come and click on our congressional maps, our state senate, our state house, and our school board. And if you want to just leave us a comment, let us know your thoughts. You can
Participate.
no, participate. Don't know why I'm clicking that. You can see the public comments that have been left. But you can click on participate and you can come down here and leave us a comment. It'll just ask for your email, your name, your zip code, so we know what area you're talking about. And then you can just type in what you think. You can say, I think our district should go this far north or this far west. You can say, I think we should be kept together as all the tribes of Utah. Try to keep us together as much as you can. And this is one way you can give us your public comment. Because like Chairman Facer said, we know Utah well, but we don't know Utah that well. So your comments help us to know what you want your districts to look like, and they help us to make better maps. So we take your comments into consideration so that we can create a district that hopefully you like, and that way you can make sure your voice is heard. So that's a little bit about the public comment process. We also have these sheets of paper that I believe we've been passing around. You can write it down right now if you don't want to type it out, and we can make sure we scan that and we'll give it to our commissioners.
And one last thing, when you look at our proposed maps, we'll show them how they can access our proposed maps. We'll print them and make sure that you guys get it, so that way you guys can write a letter if there is an endorsement per se of one specific map that you guys like. But if you click on the icons of the maps, you can comment as well on the specific maps that you're seeing on the draft maps. And say, I don't like this because it splits the reservation. I like this because it keeps all the reservations together. And same thing as the other one, you put your name, email, address, city, and you can take a look at each of the maps. Like Rex and Gordon were saying, there's not one map that is ideal. There's not two maps. We have probably 12 maps of the congressional boundaries that are drafted and out there, and ideas that the commissioners have. But if those don't work for you, they're not final. We still can change those boundaries. And the deadline for that would be
The 23rd of October, yeah. I think we will, because I just wanted to ask if there were any final comments.
Yeah, I wanted to kind of just real quickly do the House and the Senate mapping, just to give them an idea. We only showed them 3, and they think that that's all the.
Yeah.
If we can just do it real quickly in the school board.
So,
and I probably should have let you translate everything.
So, the Senate maps, which we didn't show you any of, if you click on the icon, you go to the Senate maps, and you'll notice the tabs up across the top. Each one of those is a different map that has been drawn. Some of them have been drawn by the public, and some of them have been drawn by the commission. Right now, there are 7 maps.
How many senators?
7 senators.
So there are 25 senators, or 29 senators, excuse me.
29.
29, yeah. There's 75 in the House, 29 in the Senate.
So how many districts are we talking about?
So 29 districts.
We have 29 districts.
See,
in the
that's a
Senate.
big difference.
Yes.
PA at the whole one, the not on not not being not 8 for not on not being not being not 8 net okay on it not on it button that not be on not not it for upon the Hindu at the none of It'll be all the cut now or for the. It takes up and then 40,000 on the year. So say that in the Washington, and I get it at thinking, and get it, I'm not asking for a whole. They ain't not the on us, a whole. So they hold and that is on. So now let's go to
School
the
board.
house. Or whatever.
Yeah, school board's the other one we haven't shown.
But they also not on, but the Georgia.
So in the school board, there are 15 districts.
School board is, not the whole children. That was a couple.
So in this one, you've got essentially kind of an east side and a west side, large rural districts.
Can I go to the next one?
Yeah, you can show another one.
GAO is the whole, so he is the art that the whole, so that in the future, can we NJA, it of the other, but now also, but the RDE. Okay.
And so there are about 7 of the school board maps as well.
So either the pushing, because that is not on us, but I thought it was not on.
So-
Not like the house, okay. He is a non, I keep on.
So the house districts again.
Nati, yeah, who wanted art, the house, so he non, find out initiative.
This is the one where there are 75 seats.
It was the thing of, not a whole surgeon.
So right now, there are 6 maps, but we do have a couple more that are being drafted right now. And when they're finished, they'll be put up here as well.
And 3 of those are submitted by the public.
Yes.
Banana era who wanted to put a house, so he is the thing of, like a whole surgeon. But when I find that it on in that way, open then, we keep it. So the other, the banana, but it fight the ABC enough in the media. But they are our ABC not a has so he is not for. So it's a time the media in the he can't out the media. Not a has okay.
So we'll go ahead and work with you to make sure we get you hard copies of the maps so that it's easier to kind of use the physical copy.
Yeah.
Are there other comments that people would like to make tonight before we close?
Who's like really thinking way out of the box and like just like scrapping everything that everyone and just burn down the patriarchy and just like let's try something new. Like, is that out there? Is
So,
that
yeah, so a couple of these maps have done that, both on the public submission side as well as from the commission. So for example, the purple team, when we started drawing our maps for Congress, we didn't look at where any of the existing districts were. We simply said, as we start to hear comments, what makes sense to us? How can we start shaping these? And at the end of the day, how can we get 817,000 people together? So there is some of that thinking going on. I'm not sure if we're burning down the patriarchy yet. But,
Gotta try it somehow.
So let me ask, if we were to bring maps down, we have, we can print out all these, how many copies would be like 10 copies you could distribute to get comments back? What would be a if we gave you 5 copies of each, 10, 15, we're going to do what we need to bring them here because the time is so short. We need to rush them down here to you, distribute them, and let you have some time to talk about it because October 23rd is coming quickly, logistically, but I want to give you as much time as possible to review the maps to get comments back on those.
I think a set of each 3. That way the community is north, west, and then then the chapters down here as well, that way Willie can do his district and then Kenneth can do his district and then. Northern district as well.
How big are they now?
We can print, I want to print out pretty good size because I'm old and my eyes can
Yeah.
see small things, so I need to see it pretty big.
But we can also send like a PDF and you could print as many as you want. Distribute to as many people as you want, so you can get all that information.
So we can deliver it both ways. I just know that with internet access,
Yeah.
having the hard
That would be our
copies.
biggest, yeah, the hard copy would be the best for us down here. So I think what we need to do is maybe instead of the maps that you have, and maybe, how many do you think, 3?
And if I
That way
give
you
this
can
to
do
Willie,
Seaside Splash, Red Mesa, and if I'm honest, you can do Mexican Water, then Hoso, and then Navajo Mountain and Alta.
So who would be the best person to get those?
Alex, I'm gonna give you my card.
And we will, just for your information, we will also be holding a public hearing in Moab on the 13th. Yeah, I believe. And so folks are definitely welcome.
I thought it was the 6th. Is that not you guys?
so there's a state legislature.
Those guys are-
We're still there, so go to Paul.
Go to God. Send out the gas card, send out the fuel so people can show up.
No, and I wanted to know, let you know, we went to Monticello and really reached out to us, which was huge, and said it's gonna be extremely difficult for a lot of people to go up there to talk to us. And so he contacted us and said, we need to come over, and the commission readily agreed to come here to hear your voices, and I can tell you, it has been extremely beneficial. And it's gonna really be beneficial to hear what you have to say if you give you those maps. So thanks Willie for doing that. That's very significant.
Juliana was skeptical if Mexican Water was still in Arizona.
Yeah,
The
listen,
address said it was
we
still in Arizona.
Didn't look too far from the mountain.
really had to, but listen, we made it hard on him, so you guys be nice to him. is what I want to say. That's really important. And so we'll get you those maps, and if you can distribute them, and we'll be in contact, to make sure we get back. And that those are included in our comments and our report to the state legislature.
Is there a chance that you might be able to do another meeting down here, maybe like in,
On the
Why?
13th,
I'm sorry,
the 13th of October,
is where?
we'll be in Moab, and if we came down here, maybe the 12th or the 14th, that would make.
Might be possible.
Okay, if we can designate an area, maybe like in Monument Valley area, that would be nice, and then maybe designate another area over in Montezuma Creek, Manatee area. That way we can get a better turnout and get a better response, I think, if we just bring.
Should we work with Willie or you for getting that? Willie took a beating on time, and I don't.
I'll
want-
take the beating this time for him.
Okay, sorry, Willie, we will be nice to you and the rest of you. Mexican Water is in Utah. We didn't believe you for a long time, so I'm just saying.
If you have a copy-
But we'll blame the Google.
Yeah.
if you have a
What
copy
did
of
Google
that-
say it wasn't?
Well, when you search Mexican Water Chapter House, it pulls you up to the chapter house, maybe the old chapter house. in Arizona. Yeah.
It'd be great if they're there.
So we just kept looking.
So you have to search for Mexican Water Chapter House Bluff.
Yeah. and
For
that's what I'm
Google
kinda
to give you the
looking
right
at,
place.
exactly, some of us facilitate, like whoever showed up here tonight to help to facilitate that. I think we can get a better response. And even if we not do things there, at least they can take the forms that people want to fill out then that day, they can take it with them. And then whoever chooses to go online, to do the public, then that's an option. You can do it.
Thank you.
Rex, do you want to ask if any of the commissioners want to add something?
Sure, thank you. Commissioner Thorne, Commissioner Hale, would either of you like to make some comments? Commissioner Thorne?
I just want to say thank you all for coming to this meeting. I know the state doesn't come down to listen to your concerns often enough. And I'm proud of the fact that our chairman, our executive director, are there to represent us, and we appreciate and value your thoughts. So thank you.
I'll add my thank you to Commissioner Thorns. Thank you so much for taking the time to meet with our chair and our director and our staff tonight. It's been great to hear your comments, and we will definitely be.
Karen? Get you to turn off your sound, Karen, your speaker.
Federal District Court.
Karen, I think you can speak now.
Okay. Thank you again for coming. We really appreciate it. And we look forward to engaging with you some more moving forward.
Thank you for making
How are you going to set those? Thank you.
I plan on being in Salt Lake tomorrow. How soon are you able to get those printed, do you think?
We will get to you tomorrow. We can get.
Yeah, we can get that. If you're gonna be in Salt Lake tomorrow, we'll make sure we get it.
Yeah, and I'll be there Friday until Sunday. So if you have, that.
Let's make sure we get it with us Friday, because we're gonna drive slow enough that we don't get tickets going. Speeding tickets. I know you might go.
You get a ticket.
Do you have a business
Oh, we have t-shirts if anybody wants a t-shirt. We also have stickers.
Get a t-shirt. New one.
We want to be friends. We're coming on really fast.
All right, sounds good. Thank you.
You share it with him?
Yeah.
Excellent. Excellent. You need it. You lost.
Some of this is clearly new ground for us to be breaking. And so we're learning by trial and error. So I'm grateful that we can figure that out before we go.
You won't stop.